What have you always wanted to know about Boise State Public Radio? Join us for another round Wednesday, March 19th at Mad Swede Brew Hall in downtown Boise from 6 to 8 p.m. Learn more about our operations, news content, and our service mission. We welcome your questions and look forward to sharing more about what we do here at Boise State Public Radio. More details can be found on our website at boisestatepublicradio.org.
More Idaho Matters now from the studios of Boise State Public Radio News. I'm Gemma Gaudette. This weekend, 76 adaptive athletes will be in Idaho competing in the Challenged Athletes Foundation Winter Sports Weekend. The event is one of the largest in the region, and it invites both beginners and professionals with physical disabilities to take part. So joining us now to talk more is Wilson Dippo, Program Manager for Challenged Athletes Foundation Idaho, along with Para-Olympian Josh Sweeney, who is also a coach and a CAF ambassador and athlete. I want to welcome both of you to the program.
Thanks for having us.
And it's great to have you with us. Wilson, let me start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about the Challenged Athletes Foundation and how long it's been around?
Yeah, so the Challenged Athletes Foundation is almost 35 years old. Started in the 90s in San Diego with the San Diego Triathlon Challenge, raising money for people with permanent physical disabilities. And it's been around and growing ever since.
And Wilson, talk to us about the Winter Sports Weekend. First off, how did it get started?
Yeah, so the Challenged Athletes Foundation expanded into Idaho back in 2019. And we've been playing around with what our programming has looked like since then. We've had lots of kind of smaller one-off clinics. We've had multi-day clinics. We've had camps where we've traveled around the state. And one of the events that really stuck is this one, the Winter Sports Weekend. So it's a 3-day event where participants get the opportunity to try a day of cross-country skiing, a day of downhill skiing or snowboarding, and a day of sled hockey.
And Josh, what sport will you be competing in this weekend?
I will be primarily helping out with Nordic skiing. In the past, I had done sled hockey, but we have some amazing coaches coming in for sled hockey, so I get to focus on helping anybody that wants to learn more about Nordic skiing up on the mountain.
And Josh, you're a Paralympic gold medalist, so can you talk to us a little bit about your story and how you actually got involved in Nordic skiing?
Yeah, yep, I am. So I was initially injured while serving in the military in 2009, improvised explosive device in Afghanistan. And after my injury, I started playing sled hockey as a form of just kind of recreational therapy and rehabilitation. And it gave me that feeling like I'm back with a team. I'm back competing. I'm focusing on something bigger than myself and putting my teammates' goals and our collective goals on what how we're going to do and helping me to accomplish some big goals and dreams. And so I was able to, in 2014, go to the Paralympic Games where we did win gold for sled hockey. And then I moved to Idaho in 2020, where actually Challenged Athletes Foundation was having a Nordic ski clinic, come sort of try it out day up in Sun Valley. And so I tried it out. I loved it. I thought it was awesome to be able to get out of my wheelchair and get on snow and, kind of disappear into the backwoods areas where I hadn't been in a very long time. And it was just very peaceful. But it also gave me another sport to be able to do with my friends and family that I quickly realized I could be competitive in. And so I started training and competing and was fortunate enough to be able to go to the 2022 games in Pyeongchang and didn't medal there, but it was an awesome experience. And once again, being able to represent my country was just super cool.
And Josh, it sounds like this has really changed your life. This whole this whole part of being able to continue to be an athlete. Is that a fair statement to make?
Yeah, totally. I mean, having the ability to especially after being injured, see myself as an athlete, see myself as someone that can compete in and really work up a sweat and really tax myself the same way I used to be able to, and that you know it's just a really cool feeling to be able to race, even whenever we have parallel races with able-bodied athletes,
Hmm.
or and being able to feel like we're all out here competing in essentially doing the same thing just in different ways. It just allowed me to see myself as kind of like a normal person again, and I think that was so just honestly transformational for myself after being injured, that I want others to experience that. And it's one of the main reasons that I love working with Challenged Athletes Foundation, because you meet people that have never tried these sports, and you get to say, like, I've tried it, it's a lot of fun, come with me, let's go. And then hopefully it gives them another avenue for an outlet.
And Wilson, as I mentioned in the introduction, and Josh just pointed this out, is that you have beginners and you have professionals competing this weekend. Well, why is it important to CAF to open this event up to athletes of all levels?
Yeah, so this particular event is less of a competition and more of an opportunity for community and an opportunity for getting to experience new and different sports. So yeah, so we do have a lot of folks coming out who have maybe a lot of experience in cross country skiing, but they've never sat in a sled hockey bucket before or never tried mono skiing. Um, so yeah, so I would say, it's this event. It's just 3 days and it's three different sports. So no one's going to walk away being a master in any of those sports. And so we have to really look at what our goals are, and our goals are pretty simple. It's have an awesome fun experience, introduce folks to a sport that they might want to pursue further later on, and an opportunity for community and getting a large group of folks together who have similar interests and may share some things in their background that they might not find on the ski mountain on other days is pretty huge.
And Wilson, you're also bringing in some other really inspiring athletes that'll be highlighted this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about Liam and Easton Stenson?
Yeah, so we've got, like you mentioned in the introduction, 75 different athletes, and so we've got folks that are coming in who have Paralympic ambitions, and then we've got folks like the twins you mentioned, and they're local here to Boise, and they've been to a handful of our different events, and they remind me kind of a lot of like the relationship that I had with my brother growing up, where we'd go out
Mm.
skiing and it was almost as much about causing trouble as it was about actually skiing. And so I'm super excited to get to go ski with those boys. We've played sled hockey together in the past. They were here for our kids camps this summer, and just another way to get outside, play and recreate and all that.
And Josh, you have accomplished so much. I'm wondering what kind of advice you might have for other athletes who may have had their life altered by an injury, and maybe they're struggling to find something like you did, right? And how these sports have really impacted your life.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and honestly, I've now tried and compete in, I don't know, six or seven different sports at this point, and I will say that um, it's awesome to try new sports, but it is challenging, it is tough. Sometimes it can feel like, man, that was really hard, that was a lot of work. I don't know if I really had fun. My biggest advice is to just stick with it a couple more times, just and don't give up on yourself, because it a lot of these sports are um tough, and they're hard to do,
Hmm.
and really you might not enjoy it the first time or the second time, but hopefully you will. And don't be afraid to try a new sport. If you keep trying sled hockey and it's not working out, and you're finally on the seventh time of trying it, you're just like, I'm not having fun. then try a different one. Fortunately, like Wilson said, this weekend you get to try all three, and so you'll know, pretty quickly which one you enjoyed the most. But I think being able to um, try as many sports as you can, not only just to see what you are good at competing in or what you might have a natural ability for, but also to be able to uh, be more engaged in the community between the different individuals that play the different sports, and hopefully bring some friends over from basketball to skiing, or wheelchair rugby to sled hockey or whatever, because ultimately, if you can build a great team around yourself and in your community, where with a bunch of individuals that you love hanging out with and playing these sports with, it just makes all of this so much more fun.
Well, I want to thank both of you so much for your time today. We've been speaking with Wilson Dippo, Program Manager for Challenge Athletes Foundation Idaho, and Paralympian Josh Sweeney, who is also a coach and a CAF ambassador and athlete, talking about CAF's Winter Sports Weekend, which kicks off March 21st at 9 a.m. You've been listening to Idaho Matters from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Gemma Gaudette.